Good morning, cryptocurrency questions, answers, news. Welcome to another edition of the Market Moment. And, one of the things I'm looking at, I've been hearing a lot of noise about is, has the bull run out of gas? Are we at the end of it? Have we seen the best that 2021 has to answer? This morning, myself, Jeff Brody, and I'm joined by Curtis Caudill.
Good morning. Morning.
And we're going to have a conversation about what's been going on in the market. We also want to bring you an update about the CQuant, Cryptocurrency Questions, Answers, and News, a DAO that we've been talking about. Also, I believe there's been a sign shown to us about GAIA Coin. We'll touch on that. And then we're going to go over some of the top predictions for 2021 that was listed in Yahoo News. And talk about some of the up-and-coming competitors to Ethereum and what's going on with Bitcoin. So good morning, Curtis. How are you?
Doing okay. Just a little tired. Pulled a good 15 hours yesterday, just tapping away on the computer. And then this morning, getting the kids off to school. So, now I am trying to let my coffee do its work.
Excellent. I snuck up to the cottage, the lake house last Thursday night with this. I had this big list of things that I was going to do, and I ended up just chilling and napping throughout the day and just catching up because of those long hours of pushes on getting things done. So I can completely relate to that.
Yeah, sometimes you got to do it. You just got to sit back and, take some time. So.
Yeah. And I think we're all here in the cryptocurrency space hoping that our cryptos will do things so that we can have more Fridays in our life.
Absolutely. Yep.
So let's talk about what's going on in the market. I really would like to start about show me a sign, GAIA Coin.
Okay. Yeah. So, about a month ago, we reached out to City of Greensboro and adopted a highway, and we all met up on Sunday, and we picked up on a 2-mile stretch of highway, we picked up 15 bags of trash. So it was, there was a lot of people that came out. I appreciate everybody that came out. Some of you are in this group. Thank you so much. And awesome. A lot of people that, don't understand what we're doing with GAIA Coin. I'd like to give just a brief explanation. There is a sign, adopt a highway. But the idea is, right now there's these kind of coins and different tokenomics models that are very cyclical or based on an inflation model or a deflation model, burns, you name it. Of course, you've got the fiat system that's based on this growing debt. So anyways, our token and our idea is that crypto can be connected to the environment, and the coin distribution happens through environmental action. So we are trying to incentivize what we think are really good things and try to take the environment out of the negative externality category, where it's actually valued and doesn't and helps with the social impact. So it's been great. We got a lot of things happening behind the scenes. We've got some new team members that are on board. We have a director of public relations now. We have a new director of marketing, and we are about to rebrand and do some really cool stuff and kind of bring all of the communities together that have supported us. And we've got some really cool things coming. So, but thanks for that, Jeff.
Oh, you're welcome. It's exciting. We all know that climate change is real and what's going on is real. And every effort that we see going on to make it real for the environment deserves, some airtime. So you're quite welcome. And, kudos to you for bringing this movement to the cryptocurrency space. So thanks for that.
Thanks.
Let's talk about what's going on with the latest news. I'd say the news is kind of shallow lately. Would you agree?
Yeah, I'll type something in and be looking around because that's kind of what we do, and I'll open it up expecting to see this great in-depth article, and I get about 5 sentences and realize that it's just a news bite because people they're taking advantage of the reality that people skim headlines, and those are obviously meant to manipulate, right? It's and I can't point to anyone in particular. I think that you saw one that we were talking about earlier, but and which one was that, Jeff?
Well, there was the one about so let's talk about the news on Ecuador, right? It taking its going on with the Bitcoin and introducing Bitcoin to the public market, and it's about 50 words long, so it's a headline more than an article. And we're starting to see a lot of headlines versus articles, and it's kind of a little bit of the FUD versus the good news stories are kind of weekly, very weekly battling it out, right? So that, one of the headlines I saw was, Grayscale has topped up their Ethereum fund to $10 billion. And also that article about, we can talk a little bit about, there was one article I think that was worthy of discussing, was about Cuba, right? Being a Western, actually using the US dollar, but also being under sanctions and how difficult it's been for them. And them looking at the cryptocurrency and Bitcoin to be able to bring funds from family members who live outside of Cuba into the residents of Cuba. So what's your thoughts about these companies or countries, not companies, sorry, which are, could be under sanction, or they're under regulation, or they're under constricted supply of the US dollar, where the US dollar is the de facto worldwide trading currency?
Yeah. So, we live in this society where everything has always been fed to us from the top down, the US dollar, the banking system, all these large corporations and conglomerates, technology. Well, for the first time with, Bitcoin, it kind of comes, from the bottom up. And I think you're going to continue to see that. So we've got these underdeveloped countries that have hyperinflation issues that are starting to see Bitcoin as a solution because Bitcoin stores value. Well, now you also have a group of countries that are realizing that this is a way for them to kind of continue along with their independence despite the sanctions and the tariffs and things of that nature that might otherwise hurt their economies. So regardless of your political take on whether that's good or not, it's definitely a tool that's going to be used. It's going to increase adoption. And of course, if Cuba does it and they see, some economic gain from it, then, next thing you know, Iran, different places that have, issues with the West, they're going to start using Bitcoin. And then there's going to be another use case that's going to pop up that Bitcoin's going to be perfect for. And eventually that bottom up will trickle right into mainstream society, whereas usually it's top down. So I think it's all good, regardless of how you view it politically, for adoption.
Yep, absolutely. We need more use cases, and these are perfect use cases on making sure that we can get money to our loved ones wherever they are. Right? Yep. We've had a number of in my organization, I've had a number of international trained workers who have become citizens. And it's like the young people is pretty amazing. They constantly send money back to their family. So absolutely. It's they help They help with the education for their younger siblings and taking care of elder relatives. So, it's hats off and kudos to people who do that. Let's talk a little bit about, we've got some movements going on in the market. We have a new player that showed up in the top 10, Solano. So if you folks have been following Solano and you hold a few bags of that, good for you. Well done, because it's been Solano's been on fire, and Solano is one of the competitors, or the co-competitors to the DeFi space that Ethereum currently holds, by being able to bring in massive quantities of transactions at low costs. So we've got Ethereum, we've got Polkadot, we've got Cardano, and Ethereum itself, with smart contracts all vying for the space. So what's your thoughts about what's going on?
More Ethereum killers, right?
Yes.
So I do think that there's lots of space in the market. I don't necessarily think that there's an Ethereum killer. Is there a possibility that one of these Ethereum-like chains could flip Ethereum? Sure. I don't think it's going to happen anytime in the near future, and here's why. I see texts and people talking, saying, "Oh, hey, well, when XRP has the ability to mint NFTs at such a cheap price, then Ethereum's dead." Well, the truth is, it almost doesn't matter how much Ethereum gas is. People are still spending Ethereum. They spend Ethereum constantly, especially these NFT drops on OpenSea, things of that nature. And, Ethereum is a chain that's constantly evolving. So although it evolves slower than some of the other chains because it's such an early generation chain. But I think, and somebody may have to correct me, I haven't looked too terribly deep into Solana, or however you pronounce it, but I do think that one of the reasons for its recent rise is definitely DeFi, but I think that people are also minting NFTs, and that space is starting to blow up over there, and NFT space in general. Of course, ADA Cardano getting smart contracts. We've been down this road before. I do happen to believe it's going to happen this time. I'm very 95% sure there. So we'll say that. And then of course, Polkadot, we've been kind of waiting all summer for the parachains to drop. I think Kasuma has actually started doing that, which is of course the canary in the coal mine for Polkadot. So all good stuff. And I think that just that entire DeFi space is going to grow and flourish along with the NFT space into main adoption. So I don't see any bad things happening there. If Cardano or one of the other chains flips Ethereum, good. I can't see any negative with any of that. So,
what about DEXs on these new chains?
Oh yeah. So that's great. So one of the issues that a lot of the newer projects have is, you go to launch and you want people to, buy your token. And a lot of the times, you might say, okay, well, I want $300 worth of that token. And you get on Uniswap or 1inch and you pull it up and you go to buy $300 worth. And because Ethereum gas fees are, $50, $100, you don't get quite what you're looking for. So again, and we like to segue into this because I think Jeff and I are both big believers that this is going to be big. But Pokedex has recently launched its test net, and you're going to be able to do a feeless DeFi swap on Polkadot. So getting into new projects, they have an IDO launch pad. You go to spend your $300, guess how much you're going to get? You're going to get $300 worth. So that is what we're being told. That's what their AMAs are saying. And if that is the case, then I think this is going to be a really big player. Not financial advice, but feel really good about that one. So.
Yeah, just keep an eye on it because it's a low cap, which should be read as high risk.
Yes.
And the flip side of that, not financial advice, is high risk, high reward opportunity.
Yep.
Right? No guarantees. So the thing is, keep an eye on it because distributed exchanges are extremely important, especially in the wake of the regulations that are going down. I live in Ontario, Canada, and the Ontario Securities Commission has put a lockdown on a lot of foreign exchanges, token exchange platforms, TEPs, and also have banned exchanges that do futures and derivatives trading because they fall in under the securities regulation. So if you're just, the token exchanges, they need to be registered with the Ontario Securities Commission so that information is readily available. And this is purportedly to protect us from scams and rug pulls. I always love it when the government steps in to protect us.
Yes, we need it.
Yeah. So let's move along a little bit, and there's lots of exciting things going on, and Curtis and I were chatting pre-roll on this morning, and saying, we would really love to see some predictions from our members here in Cryptocurrency Question, Answers, and News. And what do you think is going to happen in 2021? What are your top 1, 2, 3 predictions, and maybe a little bit of why you feel that way? Because there's a lot of folks here, and this is an awesome group of like-minded individuals in Cryptocurrency Questions, Answers, News, and we would like to have a membership drive. I did a post this morning with a couple of lines of text with the link to the group that you can post publicly on your Facebook page and any other social media that you'd like, Twitter, wherever you want to put it, and drive like-minded people into our group. Because, once we get some momentum going, I think we're going to be able to achieve the things that we want and to create better content, more frequent content, and richer and deeper. So you have a list. I believe that we saw a post from Yahoo News about the top predictions in cryptocurrency. So do you want to give us a rundown of what they were saying they've got there?
Well, I kind of skimmed through it, and I think you and I both realized that it was more text than numbers, right, of what may and may not happen. So what I'd like to do, if it's okay with you, is I would just kind of like to give our own predictions on where we think maybe Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I don't know, what do you think, Cardano, since it's made such a big move?
Yeah, I think Ripple needs to be in there as well because of what's going on.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So and I guess I'll start. And again, this is not financial advice. Do not base your investments off of what Jeff or I say. Strictly entertainment. But I'll start. Let's start with the beast, right? Bitcoin. I still think that Bitcoin is on a path to 100K by the end of the year, and have several reasons for this. The first reason, and I know people look at the $47,000 price right now that we're sitting at, and they go, "Oh, no way, it's going to make it to 100,000." Well, this year, Bitcoin is up 309%. So to go up another 100% is not unheard of in the crypto world. I mean, that literally, now this market cap is way too large for this to happen overnight, but we're coming up now on the retail shopping months, which are usually really good months for crypto. And it started the bull run in 2020, started the bull run in 2017, and I think because of the adoption, I think we're going to see it again. My prediction for Bitcoin, December 31st, I think we're looking at $102,000. So what do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, I think that $102,000 to $120,000 is a very realistic target. Mind you, I'm just pulling this off my oracle, my crystal ball. So, tell us what you think. Drop a comment below. We'd love to hear what your predictions are. I mean, I'm sure there's some folks out there that got $0 predictions for Bitcoin. I don't think that's likely to happen, but
we should talk. If you have a $0 prediction, let's talk.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the I think the future's looking bright, and I think the best is yet to come in 2021 for Bitcoin.
Yep. So Ethereum, despite the high gas fees, I see Ethereum at 10K, and Ethereum's up on the year. You're looking at 685%. So 10K Ethereum is definitely not out of the question. And of course, you do have the other chains that are popping up that are taking advantage and stealing a little bit of share because of the gas, but we haven't seen the institutional investment dump into Ethereum at the same rate as we did Bitcoin, and I still think that that's coming.
Oh, it's absolutely coming. What's interesting is if we look back, we turn the hands of time back 12 months, where we were sitting at a $10,000 Bitcoin and a $300 Ethereum.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we've seen 10 times on the Ethereum with 1,000%. And it's, I think it's getting that slingshot effect there, that bow and arrow effect where we're in the drawback. So let's see what happens for both of these coins.
All right. So Cardano, and this one is, for the year has been, wow, kind of a crazy ride. So even though I've been a little hard on them over the smart contracts, I mean, in 1 year, 2,200% increase. It went from 8 cents up to $2.97. With everything that's going on, if the smart contracts land, which I think they will, I think you're going to see more utility, DeFi built out. You're going to have the Uniswap of Cardano. You're going to have the OpenSea of Cardano. You're going to have all that stuff that is basically duplicated off the Ethereum blockchain. So I would not be surprised by the end of the year to see probably a $12 to $14 Cardano.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I was looking at a $6 to $8 Cardano. And it was hard to believe. Back in the spring when we were seeing the $1.40, $1.50, $1.60 all-time highs, and a lot of us, including me, dumped our bags to cash in. To think now we're seeing 100% return on it has really got me back. I'm in. I'm not in as deep as I was before, but I'm in, and I'm saying yes, $8 to $16 range. So the $12 range makes sense to me. I think that they've got Cardano has a very strong developer community. It has a very strong and active community in general. And we're going to see a lot of good things coming out of Cardano. And, it's interesting to watch, some of these large cap coins, the founders, Vitalik and Charles Hoskin jumping in and supporting other currency platforms like the revival of the Dogecoin,
Ethereum Classic.
Ethereum Classic. So we see people jumping into these other projects and bringing leadership and stewardship to. They are. What's the word I want to look for? They've been around for a long time. They're established coins, and they just need some leadership. And so we're seeing the leadership come to these projects, and I think that's exciting. So I think Cardano definitely is one of those projects that's going to be up there and carve out its niche alongside of Ethereum. And I think we're going to see a lot of tokens this year. The Polkadots, the Cardanos, and the Solanos carving the niche alongside of Ethereum as a DeFi play and platform for a specific niche.
Yeah, and hopefully, this Ethereum's always had this history of kind of chugging along at their own pace because nobody's been able to accomplish what they have. And, I kind of have this idea that with the increased competition that's coming, that the Ethereum Foundation, the developers working on Ethereum, some of these proposals that are coming up may get a little bit more heat and a little bit shorter timeline. So we'll see what happens there. But competition breeds innovation, right? So so let's move on to XRP. I'll be honest with you, Jeff. I think that this is potentially the biggest risk reward scenario on the market. I think what's important here to note is that it's all timing, right? I mean, if with the lawsuit and how long it's drug out, I don't see it coming to an end this year. However, I do still see continued utility among XRP, and XRP holders are very diehard individuals, very strong community. But with their ties into being a banking coin and the possibility that this legal will drag out, I'm going to put XRP at about $1.90. So now, hey, if the lawsuit goes through and it's positive, I mean, it's going to be ridiculous. I mean, I would probably say, and again, this isn't what I think is going to happen, but if it does, I wouldn't be surprised to see a $15 XRP, which would be, over 10x.
Yeah, that's quite possible. We're not going to see any settlements coming before November 1st, because until November 1st is the discovery phase for both sides of the case. So, I read a number of articles on that, and they think we could see a settlement, in early 2022 is what the thoughts are. So I think that we're going to start seeing a lot more speculators as we're paying attention as we move towards the end of the year, jumping in and doing exactly what you said, Curtis. And we'll see a minor inch up of the price in XRP, because it is still an amazing value. And I wasn't an XRP fanboy, but I'll be in there and saying, yeah, I'll take my share, I'll take my pound of flesh.
So what's your end of year prediction for XRP, Jeff?
I think that $2, $3 price tag is very reasonable. I think that would be something that I would hope for. If we do start seeing some really strong suggestions towards an XRP settlement coming up in the beginning of the new year of 2022, we could see it surge. I don't know if it would hold it, surge to maybe $3-4. And I think at the same time, we see Cardano pushing into its greater than $10 mark if it gets there, and we see Ethereum hitting around the if Ethereum hits around the $10,000 price tag and Bitcoin is sitting around $100,000, these other high cap altcoins are going to feel the draft and get pulled along into higher highs. And if Ethereum does get a really strong settlement argument that's in favor of the XRP community, then I think it's, all bets are off. This thing is just going to go like crazy. At least that's what I'm hoping. So the end of the year for XRP, I think at $2 to $3. So about a $2.50 XRP seems reasonable to me.
Well, I want to throw another one in, just because every coin that we've talked about today, we're giving these, double and triple predictions, even all the way up to a potential 10x. And I'm probably going to get maybe a little bit of hate mail for this, but I think a coin that will lose market cap this year, and probably a little bit of price, is BNB. And I think people are starting to see kind of the environment that's been created. Most of the rug pull projects that are coming out are, launching through coin tools on the BNB, showing up on a chart called PooCoin. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some of them that just take off and people make a small fortune. It's all about picking the right one, but there have been, a lot of kinks in the codes. And, Binance has taken advantage of this environment that Ethereum has kind of left behind, which, of course, I keep saying I think is by design. But the other thing that's happening in Binance is they're getting slapped heavily by regulators for their centralized exchanges in different countries. And, I think that even as the crypto market grows, I think with this kind of pressure, geopolitical, and then the view by the general public of, well, I don't know if I want to get into this, smart chain projects because of what's happening in the space. Right now it's 468. I'm going to say 425 by the end of the year.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. It sounds reasonable. I mean, let's consider where it was at the beginning of the year.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
$30, $40. So finishing up the year at 10 times from January, I think that's extremely reasonable.
1.91. I'm sorry, 1,000 over 1,000%. 1.9K.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
So I tend to agree. And the list can go on, and folks, this is your opportunity to look at your own oracles and crystal balls and throw them out here, and you don't have to limit yourself just to the top 10. If you think there's some other projects and coins out there, I think that we'd love to hear about them. Again, not financial advice, and we know that this is a cryptocurrency is a speculative market. And the thing is, we don't put more money in than you can afford to lose, because we know that when the bear market actually does show up, that yes, the top 10 coins can lose 60, 70, 80%. The altcoins can lose 90% or more of their value in an extremely short period of time. And what happens when we get into a true bear market, selling becomes extremely difficult because the buyers are few and the sellers are many, right? So it becomes a demand supply market, and that's what drives the cost down. Because if I set my price $10 lower, you set your price $30 lower, and it's the next guy and the next guy, because everybody just wants to get out.
Hey, Jeff, if you've got a way, flag this to pop up on January 1st so you and I can go back and check our predictions. And maybe we have, I know that we did some ranges. Maybe we have an exact dollar amount. And, maybe we, let's see, maybe we bet, maybe we make a small gentleman's wager.
Yep. Yeah, oh, that sounds good. And what I'll do is I'll copy the URL to this video and I'll drop it into the calendar so that come January 1st, 2022, we can look back at these numbers and
year in review.
See what happens. A year in review. I think it's an exciting time to be in the crypto space, and I do want to mention to new people that are here, welcome and thank you for joining us. Do some basic education, go out and read at least the Bitcoin white paper and the white papers of the projects that you feel most, aligned with or interested in. Review their social media, review their community, look at what's going on, make sure that you believe in the project and what they're doing versus just the hype that goes on, because there is an extreme amount of hype. There's massive amounts of scams and things going on. So be safe and secure. Take care of your crypto. Have yourself a hardware wallet. Have yourself a software wallet. Store your coins where they're safe and secure. And this is one of the reasons where distributed exchanges, DEXs come in, is that you can trade your coins directly from your wallets, right? So I was able to do some trading using the 1inch exchange over the weekend and did it directly from my hardware wallet. So, there was no need to send it out to an exchange, do the trading, and then send it back to the exchange. And so, yes, I was willing to pay the $100 ETH gas fee. And the reason I'm willing to do that, because I realize that, hey, if I have ETH sitting in my wallet and I need to transfer it to the exchange, I got to pay that transfer fee in. And then I got to out, and then I got to pay the transfer fee in, and I got to pay the trading fees. And if you really add it all up, the time and effort, I figured, hey, it makes sense.
Yeah, you're there.
Yeah. So I think this is an exciting year, and I definitely look forward to having this conversation on January 1st and seeing where we are. Did we make it? Did we not make it? Were we conservative? Were we too bullish? Let's see what happens.
Drop yours in the comments.
Yeah, drop yours down in the comments. Your predictions for Bitcoin, your predictions for Ethereum, for Cardano, for XRP, for BNB. Let's see what your thoughts are. We'll all drop ours in there, and then we can have fun and come back January 1st and see where we were. And maybe we can do a little wagering down in the comments. And we can figure out a good cause to put that wager towards.
I like that.
Maybe it's throwing some money at Guycoin to support the environment. I think, or whatever your favorite not-for-profit is. And I mean, Guycoin Foundation is a fully registered not-for-profit in the USA, right?
Yes. Yeah, we are. So we're registered in, Greensboro, North Carolina, and we are working on a 501c3 status as we speak. That may happen sooner than later, but a lot of moving pieces kind of coming together with GAIA Coin between the Great Ape Society on OpenSea, and they've got a very bright, vibrant Discord community. Our director of public relations has two Facebook groups that I won't name here, but we'll say that they host about 100 and probably about 170,000 people. So we've got quite a bit of reach coming, and we also are about to acquire a list of 330,000 environmentalists that signed a petition. So. We're about to have quite a bit of reach and be able to get our message out there. So thanks again for that, Jeff. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Remember, folks, we are having a membership drive. Every day is a membership drive. And the reason being is we get more people into the group. We get more engagement, more content, and more knowledge that we can share. So go ahead and copy that 2-line post I did and paste it onto your social media platforms and invite your friends and like-minded people to the group, because as we grow, we have a desire to see this to become an independent media outlet and a decentralized autonomous organization. And the realization is that we need more people in the group, and then those who would like to be the leaders and the founders and movers and shakers will step up. And if you feel you're one of those, reach out to us, because we would love to have you contribute to this group. And keep doing a great job, people. We love having you here. Thank you, Curtis. This has been an awesome conversation. I know we've gone extremely long, but we are at the close of the summer. We've got children back to school, so a lot of things are going on. And I think we're at the precipice of what's going to be one heck of an exciting run in our cryptocurrency space.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have an awesome day.
Yep. Have a good one.
Yeah. See you all online.